Father disowned me but shows up 15 years later and demands I donate my bone marrow to save his life because we are a family. So I refused, and he's suing me. It was just a passing thought. I have Reddit pals, but I haven't told them about this. I'm adopted, 17M. My biological parents were unable to care for a newborn, and as a result, I was placed in foster care. My family adopted me when I was 2 years old. I have a really happy life, which I would not have had if my biological parents were still alive. My biological parents made contact with my family around a month ago. To cut a long tale short, my biological father is ill and need a bone marrow transplant. They are on a waiting list but have not yet received a response. I am their only kid and chances are I'm a match. They basically wanted my parents to have me checked and then give my bone marrow to him. My parents informed me it was up to me, and after some consideration I answered no. I only know them because they gave birth to me. They'd never been a part of my life, and now they're in desperate need of me. So they sent my parents a nasty mail threatening to sue to compel me to contribute my marrow. I certainly feel awful, but I don't believe this is my fault. Is it me who's the jerk? Sorry for the delay in responding. I went shopping with my mother shortly after I wrote. I'm a male, but I'm pleased that some of you believe I'm attractive enough to be a lady. I have no contact or any relationship with my biological parents. According to my parents, I was placed in foster care when I was less than a month old. That's how they obtained me, and they chose to adopt me when I was 2 years old. I have 4 siblings and a wonderful life. When I was old enough, they informed me I was adopted, but I had no clue who my biological parents were or what they looked like. Someone suggested I do it because what if I need medical information, want to get to know them, or anything along those lines? No way. I'm not interested in getting to know these folks. None. I have no desire to locate my grandparents, cousins, or uncles. I don't care if a rare cancer runs in the family, since they aren't my family. I didn't spend the last 17 years of my life with them. Why should I bother getting to know them? Edit. For all of you who keep suggesting, you should think about it. How about donating to him? My parents advised me to think about it. I considered it, and the answer is no. No, I'm not going to do it. That's all. Morning. It's early in the morning, and I'm getting ready to go to school as I write this. This morning, I read some new comments, and I'd want to clarify something that has been raised before. My egg and sperm donors did not forsake me on their own. I had been captured. My parents are completely ignorant of the specific cause behind this, since this information was never shared with them. According to the information provided, it was not a pleasant environment for a child. I had been captured. Even if they had taken me away from them, I would not owe them any money. It's not like I asked to be born, like every other child on this great world, but I didn't want to be born. If being born means I'm suddenly obligated to them, I'd be the slowest sperm you've ever seen, since I'd be unable to function properly. I would have happily rushed inside a sock if I could have. You guys have a reputation for being a bunch of liars. One sentence informs the reader that there are children in foster care that need a family. I was raised as a foster kid before being adopted by 2 wonderful people. Afterwards, you inquire about your family's well-being in the same breath. I'm married with children and a household. They've been my primary caregivers for the last 17 years. What is the nature of your medical history? Some quite helpful individuals have privately messaged me to notify me that, as of 2021, I will get all of that rubbish without ever having to speak with any of the individuals involved. Ever. Isn't it remarkable how far science has come in such a short period of time? I'm going to forward this to a few of my friends today because, to be really honest, I'm sick of hearing about it. It is not my responsibility whether or if this individual dies. Besides that, as several people have pointed out in the comments, the chances are that I wouldn't be a match in the first place, and he has been successful in getting someone off the list, which will be much faster than waiting for me to be tested only to be informed that I am not a match in the first place. Then there's the time when people on your hill start shrieking, "Wouldn't you donate to a stranger?" I mostly donate blood because it allows me to skip physical education class. Donating blood is something I like doing. Congratulations to everyone who is successful in obtaining that blood. Everything else apart from that, I didn't give it much thought. If they had come to my parents and said, "Hey, you adopted our baby, and we need a favor," I would have answered, "Sure, anything." Unfortunately, despite my sincere apologies for troubling you, blah blah, my answer would still be no. As a result of my own inquiry, I uncovered multiple examples of children who were considered as genetic gold mines by their parents in order to save their siblings or a family member, and that was all they were to their parents. Someone who was an excellent match for the job. I owe them absolutely nothing. I couldn't care less that she had to linger with me for 8 hours. They aren't related to me in any way. I'm fortunate to have a supportive family that is currently assisting me. My parents are also attempting to find out how they were able to track me out after my adoption was finalized and closed. As a result of my kidnapping, the rights were removed. They have absolutely no right to know anything about me. I'm not sure whether they're going to hire a lawyer or what they're doing. They must be very enraged by everything. I'm required to attend school. Later. Story 2. I didn't cheat. He's a liar. Venting. This individual has been a friend of mine for the last 24 years. The most of the time, we were an amicable couple. I was under the impression that everything was going swimmingly at the time since I was working 2 jobs and putting in long hours. It was only to spend time with each other that we went out for a day in August last year. He woke me up screaming, "I'm cheating on him." It was fantastic, and when we got home, I wanted to take a nap due of the fresh air, but he woke me up screaming, "I'm cheating on him." I said in disbelief. I moaned for 2 seconds out of 4 hours of recording, according to him. He had been recording the bedroom and listened to it continually. I swear to you that I did not do anything. It was either that or turn off the darn television. But he believes it, and I became so enraged that I ejected him from the house merely for accusing me of cheating on the exam. We spoke again a week later, and he said he believed me, so he kept recording and driving himself insane by telling his friends and my neighbors that I had cheated on him with another man. I'm completely mad. Then, after Christmas, I was really fatigued, and he attempted to play with me one night as I was groaning and snoring and about to fall asleep. I remember being at work and feeling terrible about falling asleep. In any case, he had my car that day and came up to visit me at lunch, and I saw that something wasn't quite right, so I questioned as to what was going wrong. Consequently, the night before, he videotaped us and concealed it under his pillow. It was said that I had a guy break into his bedroom while he was sleeping and me. When he said, "Listen, you can hear me sleeping," he must have been thinking something crazy. Lol. By the way, he doesn't snore at all. As a result, I screamed at him, accusing him of having gone completely nuts. Despite my best efforts, I couldn't make this stuff up, and it was getting to be too much for me to take anymore. But we spoke about it more after that since he was my first, and I can't bear the thought of letting him go. I'm certain I didn't do anything wrong, but he went completely insane. He couldn't stand the fact that my second job was brand new in retail, which meant I had to talk to a lot of people and be incredibly pleasant, and he couldn't stand it. But how did he go from being a regular person to being highly fisco? I have no clue, but I miss him so much that I'm driving myself nuts. I'm at a loss as to what's going on. Maybe someone can put some light on this for me because I'm lost. The unfortunate aspect is that I care about him so much that I was going to pay $500 for a lie detector exam, but others discouraged me from doing so since they believed in my abilities to be honest. I notified him, and he immediately went online to research how to pass a lie detector test. My good fortune in not paying the money was that he would have said I lied or passed because I knew how, or some other rubbish along those lines. But I'm interested if, after 4 months of quiet, he continues to accept his own lies or recognizes exactly what he's done in the process.